guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for another little bit of a play using our mass made items. So since our last video, I've just literally covered the inside of my journal in this really pretty vibrant green paper. Obviously it picks up the green from the ribbon on the facing page. I'm just going to zoom out slightly, move my iPad forward slightly. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. I'm recording and it's quite dark. It's in the afternoon, so it's getting quite dark now, I'm afraid. So I've got my lamps on, hoping this is going to be okay for you guys. Right, so I thought we could do obviously this page here that I've just covered with the green, and we'll try and somehow tie it in obviously with the facing page. So if I pull in my mass made items, and I mean, in an ideal world, I would pick something now that's got some sort of yellow or green on it. I can't really remember, to be perfectly honest, whether I've actually made anything else in the yellow or the green. So we'll just go through and have a look. I mean, failing that, what we could do is use something that's either brown or that is kind of book, you know, book page covered, because obviously then that's quite neutral. Got an envelope there. What else have I got? I've got this green here. Sorry, this is probably a bit like watching paint dry, but obviously I wanted to include the whole process for you because you know, part of it, I think, is, you know, choosing, or how we choose which items to actually use with our mass-made pieces. You know, so although it seems really dull, that's partly why I'm kind of trying to include this part of the process. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull those couple of bits out, and I'm also going to pull this one out, and then we can just decide which piece that we like best with that, I think. So just pop those to the side now. So I mean, as you can see, there is this slight bit of brown on here, so that would tie it in quite well with the brown pieces. And obviously the book page, well, we can, you know, we can do something with the book page to make it tie in, you know, with anything really. So if I pull in my book page images, I have torn out a couple more pages now because I was kind of running low out of the ones that I'd originally torn out. So we'll just have a look through and get an image that we think might go quite nicely. I might actually go with one of the ones that we originally had. Actually, I might go with this one. Unfortunately, I've torn off the wording, so I couldn't tell you what these are. Again, showing my ignorance there when it comes to what's what in the animal world. And probably loads of people know what those are and can't understand why I don't know what those are, but never mind. Or obviously the other one, we could use either this or possibly the dog. No, not the dog. So we could use this, which is like a kid goat. So if I just tear that out. Oh, yeah, I'll just tear that out. Because obviously if I don't use all of these now on this journal, I mean, I can always use them in other projects anyway, so it doesn't really matter tearing them out. Which do we like the best? I think I'm going to go with these, whatever these are. And do we want them on the brown? And then just pull in some yellow bits and bobs around the page. Might be quite a good idea, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. So I'm just going to tear this down so it's not so big, because at the moment obviously it's quite large. I've had quite a lot of fun using my mass-made items. I mean, as I say, I have used one or two of them, you know, elsewhere in other projects, but I've only used one or two. You know, I've made a kind of journal and just pulled in one or two things. So to have actually made nearly made a complete journal using them has been really fun. And yeah, it's been quite a nice way to work, and obviously it's worked quite differently to how I would normally complete my journals. So if you guys have been doing something similar. I hope that you've found it quite a useful process and quite an enjoyable way to work. Now I'm looking around now on my desk to see if I've got anything vaguely yellow that I could just put behind that page, because obviously I feel like I need something yellow really to just marry the two bits up. Obviously I've got those lovely yellow flowers that Laura gifted me, so I might use one or two of those, but I also feel, much as I love this green paper, I just need to tone it down slightly. So let me just have a look behind me and see if there's anything there that I could just put in. Oops, hold on. Oh. Right. I've got this little pad here that's kind of there ready for some of our mass making. It's got some yellow, but it's a really bad match with that, so it might look worse than having none. Not quite so bad on the gingham type side, so let's just try that there. Not too bad. Let's just have a look through, see if, oh, that's this one. I can't bring myself to use that side because this one's really nice, isn't it? Let me just have a look. I mean, these are just some really old pads, you know, that I've had for like the longest time. So that's that. Just bear with me a couple of seconds. I'll just see what else I've got here. That might be it. Okay. Hold on 2 moments, guys. Sorry, I realise this is a bit like watching paint dry, obviously, while waiting for me to rummage around in my supplies. I have got another paper pad somewhere, which I'm sure had some yellow in it. And it was in a bag, which I thought was behind my desk. And now, of course, I can't find it. Ah, here we go. This is where I find it hasn't got any yellow at all. Let's have a quick look in here. It obviously did have yellow, yellowy orange, but whether or not I've got any left, because I have been using this. Ah, right, okay. So I think I have used the yellow actual pages. I'll just double check. All I've got is this flower, I think, left. But I have got this frame, so if I just pop that out, it might be that this will just be enough to frame around. What does that say? Nothing is too wonderful. Nothing is too wonderful to be true. So if I just tear that little coat out as well, I just wanted to have a couple of yellow things, so I'll leave that out of the way now. What I'm wondering is if we just had that just like poking out behind somehow. Let me just check that I'm in frame and filming. Okay. So, I mean, for me, that just helps to, you know, balance out those couple of pages there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tear this down because it's looking a little bit too neat and precise for my liking. Oops. Actually, I'm going to pop this one out as well because I don't really need it like that. Oh, look, I didn't notice that's that perforated edge.
The pen.
What's up, sweetie?
I draw the pen, look.
Oh, I love that.
Red feather.
That's lovely. Yep, my daughter's up here crafting again with me, so. Okay. So we'll now just pop this down here, I think, kind of coming out there. And then I wondered whether I might be able to have this there. That's really nice. Yeah, I really like that. So I might just tear this down here. Again, I mean, I'm just not over keen on all those straight edges, really. So Okay, that's quite nice. Now, what else do I need on there to just, again, balance it out and make it look a little bit more, you know, the same on each side? On here, I've just got a tiny bit of scrapbook paper. So I've got some here, which actually is printout of some of my fabulous flowers, but I could just pop some of that there. Just for a little bit of, you know, a bit more continuity. I think that's quite nice. So I'm going to get my glue before I faff around and, you know, dither around anymore. Got a new glue here, so hopefully I'm not going to have any glue issues in this video. Oops. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you're managing to do a bit of crafting. I might just cut this down or bend it round because this seems to be curling up slightly at the edge, so just want to make sure that's more down like that. So yeah, it's a horrible Saturday afternoon, and I mean, again, obviously I'm filming these videos ahead, so it's probably not a Saturday when I'm actually uploading this, but horrible. Been raining like pretty much the whole day nearly, and so we've been out to the cinema and we watched the film called Aeronauts. It was with Eddie Redmayne and somebody. I don't know who the actress was actually. I don't know if I've ever seen her in anything else. Anyway, it was a really enjoyable film. I kind of wasn't really fancying it that much, but it was kind of the only vaguely child-friendly film, you know, for my daughter. So decided to give it a whirl, and yeah, it was actually really good, really enjoyable film. It wasn't quite as I expected it to be. It was quite intense, and oh yeah, had you kind of on the edge of your seat, in a good way. It wasn't scary or anything like that, but I don't want to spoil it for people. But it was yeah, a bit kind of hairy at times, but it was a good film, and it was quite interesting. It was the story of oh, I'm terrible with names, but the chap in it who Eddie Redmayne was obviously playing. Let me just ink this up. He was trying to prove that you could predict the weather, and he needed obviously to go up, you know, up into the sky to be able to prove his theory in some form. And I think it was based in like 1860 or something like that. It was based on true events. I mean, how accurate they were, I'm really not too sure, but it was kind of loosely based on true events. So I assume he was at least a true, you know, an actual character, an actual person. So and he went up with somebody called Amelia somebody or other, and again, I don't know how accurate this is. Obviously, as I say, you know, we've just been today, and we'll probably Google this later. So I might be either spouting rubbish or I'm talking about someone who's really famous and really renowned, and I'm kind of the only person who's never heard of her, her and him, and the story kind of that connects the two of them. But anyway, it was really good, really worth seeing. You know, a nice film, one that the whole family can just enjoy really. So yeah, it was good. Right, I'm just going to ink this up. So we all went except my oldest son, who he's at work today in his Saturday job, you know, his weekend job. There we go. And my middle child, he's desperately looking for a job. I know I've talked about this before. You know, but it is very tricky because, I mean, he is only 13, and you know, I don't know what it's like elsewhere, but certainly, you know, it's not very easy to get jobs. And I keep sort of telling him, you know, don't worry, You're only 13. You've got the whole of the rest of your life to be working, and once you get on that work thing, you know, you can't then get out of it. So make the most of it until you have to go. But I think he's obviously keen to, probably just keen to get away from us, to be honest, but you know. So he's up here at the moment as well, playing on the PlayStation. So my daughter's up here crafting, and my other son is on the PlayStation, and my other one is at work. There we go. So, whoops, I don't know whether he's got his headphones on or whether he's got the volume just muted. Have you got your headphones on, darling?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, but you can still hear.
Yeah.
You can obviously still hear. Even with his headphones on, so yeah. Right, now what I'm going to do is just pop this down here, I think. I have got some green ruffle. I don't know whether that's, again, another one of those cases of like, whoa, too much green there. Just going to put a bit more ink on there. Now, I didn't ink up the green, so I might just quickly do that a little bit. I mean, I love this shade of green. Oh, that was another thing in the film. What made me think of it? On the trailers, there was a trailer for some sort of, I assume alcoholic drink. I'd never heard of it before, and I certainly couldn't pronounce it. I mean, it kind of looked a bit like it was gin, but who knows, maybe it wasn't. But it had a series of different clips with a woman in a series of different green kind of satin dresses. They were all the same fabric, but different dresses. Wow, they were stunning. They were like the most gorgeous emerald green. I whispered to my daughter, oh my gosh, I love her dress. She loved it too. And then in the film, because it was obviously dated from like 1860, oh, there were the most beautiful costumes. Just absolutely awesome, awesome costumes in the film. So, yeah, really, really nice. I do love, you know, seeing all those gorgeous dresses, which I know that I've talked about that before, but right. So, might have that like that, or I might have to just tear around this because it looks a little bit too neat for my liking. Let me just tear that down a bit. I mean, this is just scrapbook paper that I've had for a really long time. I'll just tear that tiny edge. There we go. Okie dokie, right. Now, I'm delaying sticking this down because I don't know whether I want anything else. I'm just trying sort of placements around the page to see just how I want this. Obviously, I've got this green ruffle over here. Let me just check I'm filming and in frame again. I've got this green ruffle over here. So I'm just going to pull in, just from my little cupboard beside me, where I keep my handmade ruffles. I've got some others in that fabric, and I might have a flower in that fabric as well. So just kind of wondering whether we could have a couple of little bits and bobs kind of on the page like that. I don't think we need that ruffle as well. That's kind of overkill, isn't it? A little bit too much. Let's have a look. I wonder whether we should put anything else. I mean, I have got some white lace over here, funnily enough. So, I mean, I could have a white ruffle running down the page. Maybe. I've got a white ruffle here laying around on my desk, so let's just try that. Oh, I quite like how that looks. What do you guys think? It just picks up that white there, Just going to look through the camera lens. Yeah, I quite like it with the white. Isn't it strange how just sometimes, you know, the things that you least expect suddenly grab you and you think, oh, that looks quite good. Right, so I'm going to stick this down. Now, did we have that as a tuck? We did. So I might just glue this down completely onto the page. So just glue that down there. I mean, we could have it as a pocket. Oh, well, let's just have it as a pocket, look. Oops, I'll just have it like that. Every time that I touch anything, it's rolling off. So my ink has now just rolled off. Okay, that's that. I'll just pick up, sorry, not my ink, but my ink blender tool. Right, I also, when I picked that up, spotted this little cute heart button. So I might be able to incorporate that. Right, let's pop the ruffle down. Now I quite like doing my ruffles a bit curved, so I think I will do that. I've ordered some more 3-in-1 glue from Amazon, but it's not arrived yet. It should be arriving today, but it's not arrived yet. Although, to be honest, I mean, sometimes at Amazon, they deliver right up till like 9 o'clock at night. So, you know, there's still plenty of time for it to actually arrive. I hope it arrives today. Let me make sure I'm getting my ruffle the right way up. Okay. Oops. Like that. So just pop a bit more glue. Ugh, that's just horrible, isn't it? Now look. Ooh. It's because I lost the lid to that, and because it's nearing the end, I wanted to keep it kind of upside down, so I wasn't wasting time in the video having to get it to come out. But now, obviously, it's just oozing out into that lid. Okay. And I'm just going to glue it down here as well. So, last bit down here. Okay. So I'm just going to cut my ruffle where it's hanging off of the page. I don't know whether you can really see that, but just cut it here. Okay, now I don't mind how that looks, but I'm just going to just trim it slightly. Okay, that looks better. Now I've got that little quote, which I quite like, and I've got the green flower, which I think just balances it quite nicely if I pop that there. Whoops. And then I think that's probably it, actually. I don't think we need any of those yellow flowers, because I think between everything we've managed to tie in all of those colours, really. So I'll just get my 3-in-1 again. Just glue that down. Come on. Okay. So I'll just pop that down there, like that. Now, do we want that heart there? Or we could have the little heart up there. That's quite sweet, isn't it, on that little ruffle? So, I mean, I don't really have to have that button at all, but it just felt a bit like fate, because as I obviously found it just now on the floor, as I grabbed that blending tool, and it just happened to be the right colour, it feels a bit like that was meant to be. Now, have I just got... Oh, now I've got nail varnish on that fabric ruffle. How that happened is beyond me, but hopefully I've managed to peel it off. Okay, there might be a little bit on there, but you can't really see it. Okay, so just pop my quote down now, and then that page looks good and is done, I think. So just pop that down using the 3-in-1 again. That's just oozy schmoozy. Oh, okay. There we go. don't want that really fixed down, so I don't mind my corners of that, just, you know, a little bit kind of, what's the word, but, you know, poking up a little bit. Okay, so I love how that double page spread has come out now. It just ties in really nicely, and yeah, it looks really good together. And I was obviously wondering kind of, you know, how I was going to tie the two together, so I really like how that looks. So we go back through the book and just see what we've got left to do. So we've still got obviously a couple of pages left. So if we go to this one, it's just a single page, you know, spread. So I like it when you've got just the single pages because it gives you a bit more freedom and you don't have to match them up with anything, which is always quite nice. Now, what type of embellishment piece do we want there? We might want something quite small because the journal's now getting quite full. So we might want quite a small piece. I mean, we could just have a smallish envelope, to be honest. Could just have maybe... Just going to check what's on the other side because I don't want like an envelope and an envelope. Just checking that one, or could have that one, but that's massive after I just said, oh, we'll look for a small one, and I picked just about the biggest thing in the biggest thing in the thing, biggest thing in the tray. Not very interesting. I realise I'm off camera because I'm just literally flicking through my pieces here, just trying to find a suitable piece. So what I might do is maybe have one of these. So let's have a look. Pop that down again. Oh, it's getting really warm in here now because all the lights are on, obviously, because it's quite dark, and it actually is now properly getting dark. Okay, so let me just check what was on the other pages because I don't necessarily want something like this. Obviously, it's completely different to everything else in the journal, which I don't mind that, but it feels a little bit strange. So I probably would prefer not to have that. Let me pop that back into the Mass Made box. So yeah, I think we're going to have to go back through and do some repeats because I'm already thinking, oh, my mass makes are dwindling down now. It's quite shocking how much stuff you use just to fill one journal. I know I talked about that before as well, but you know, you think you've got so much stuff, but actually it really doesn't go far. Now what I could do is actually have the dog down on the page and then just decorate my little envelope. This is one of the envelopes that we made, and that might be quite nice to do it that way round instead of always putting my piece onto the envelope. Just tie it in like that. I mean, that's a brilliant match for that envelope, isn't it, that dog? So I'm liking that quite a lot. Now let's have a look. Obviously that dog again, I've used another dog with this kind of bluey grey in the background. So I just want to look around to find something else with a bit of bluey grey just somewhere in the background. Now I've got these stamps that I've stamped onto fabric. So if I just ink up one of those, just see how that looks. Just going to cut that round. Like that. Okay. It's actually raining now again. Obviously had a bit of respite for a little while and now it's back to raining. Okay. So what we could do is have like a ticket. I can't actually see now which is the right way up and which is the wrong way on that ticket. Never mind. We had the ticket there. I feel I want something sort of orangey. Weirdly, I just happen to have this flower, which is the colour of that dog. Literally is the colour of him. Couldn't be a better match if I tried. So what I might do is just ink this up like that. Okay. And then I don't need to ink up the back because obviously it's going to be glued down onto the page. So I will ink inside of it though, like that. And then a bit there and around here. Okay. Okie dokie. Oops, I best ink up my dog actually as well, because otherwise he's not inked up. So just ink him up there. Now I'm wondering if I've got any doily laying around somewhere, because I just feel that would look quite good on the envelope. So hold on a moment while I just rummage through my rubbish here to the side. Here we go. Yeah, my son's obviously got his headphones on to drown me out. Thinking, oh gosh. Mum and her craft talk. Let's just look round and smile. There we go. I quite like it like that. Now I've got the rest of that ribbon, which we used elsewhere in the journal, which we could use. We're going to have that flower, which brings it in. Just want to put something across here, to be honest. Ooh, decisions. Wonder if we should have a bit more of the like upholstery fabric here that I had used with the ticket. Whether we should have that on there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me have a rummage around quickly and see what else I've got just lingering about on my desk. I have got this little blue flower, which actually looks quite lilac now against this other blue, but it might look okay once I've kind of just stress inked it a little bit. Let's just have a look. Do you know what? I think what I'll do is let's commit to this doily. Oh, that 3-in-1 is really gunky now. Very, very gungy. Oh, gosh. Ugh. Can barely even stand it up on the desk now. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Right, let's put it back up. And then if we have the ticket there, now, do we want, if we had that like that, and then I'm just wondering whether we could have this as a little tab. So let me just ink this ribbon up again. Like that. Oops. Just wondering, you see, whether I could just pop this onto the envelope flap as a tab and then pop that flower on there. Oh, how cute is that? Looks really cute, doesn't it? So I'm just going to, again, use that awful, that 3-in-1 is literally worse every time that I use it now, so I have to excuse all that gungy ugh everywhere, but oops, okay. Pop that down like that. Okay. So that's looking nice, and then just going to glue this ticket down. So as I say, I mean, this is just a ticket that I've stamped onto fabric, which I think looks really good. Oops. Oh, come on. So we'll just pop that on like that. I'm going to stick this flower on here. I'm just wondering, did I want anything else going across there with that flower? Right, let's just commit to the flower here. Ooh. Right, as you can see, one of my petals is coming apart, so I just need to glue that back together like that. Ooh, come on. Go back. Okay, so pop that like that. So we're going to have that like that. Now, just before I glue that down, I suddenly then thought, actually, what might be quite nice is the ticket strips that we made. Had some of those in the blue, and I just wondered whether we could incorporate those somewhere. Either going across the top of my envelope or somewhere across the page. When I made the ticket strips, I obviously had made them really to tuck into something and pull out, but actually I think they might be quite a nice edge piece to the page. So I'm going to just take those, and actually I can just tear it here, and I'm just going to glue those down. So if you didn't see my tutorial on these, I will try and remember to link that. Famous last words, I've got a memory like a sieve, so I probably won't, but if I don't and you want to see the tutorial, it should be at least in my tutorials playlist, which is obviously on my playlists, you know, part of my channel. It's on there. So yeah, if you want to see how we made the ticket strips, then that's where that is. Then going to pop that down. We're going to have the dog poking out behind. Do we want him there or do we want him there? Don't forget we're having this flower. Now, is that all that side heavy? In which case we need to balance it out with the dog, or do we quite like it? Again, let me look through the lens, because it really is surprising how much difference that can make. Yeah, I quite like it over there, which weird because I didn't think that I was going to like it over there. Okay. So I'm just going to pop that down there like that. And then take our envelope and we'll just glue that envelope down like a top loading pocket. So again, I'm just going to glue that down on like 3 sides, but leaving the top side, you know, naked kind of thing, to be able to tuck things in. And then we put that down here like that. Oops. Let me just get my dry wet wipe and mop up any glue that's just oozing out from there. Oops. Okay. How cute does that look? And then obviously, just to finish that off, we've just got this flower, which I'm going to just pop down here, which just ties that in so brilliantly, because this really does go so perfectly with that dog's coat. So let's just pop that down. Okay. So just pop that like that, press that down. Now I don't know whether that needs something in the centre of that flower or not. Oh, there goes my glue again. But we could finish that off like that with a button. Now I'm just going to glue that petal down because it just doesn't want to really stay down. So, oops. Ugh. Yep, still getting in a mess with that 3-in-1 glue. Still haven't quite got to grips with using it yet. I suspect I probably never will really, but just pop that button down. Okay. Okay. So that's that one. And then again, I mean, just to hold that closed, I'm just going to pop on a paper clip. I think that's the only item that we haven't really used so far, is we haven't used any of our altered paper clips, you know, our paper clip pockets or anything like that. But, you know, we have used obviously the majority of other things, so I don't think we're doing too badly. And to be honest, I think, you know, sometimes that you've got quite a lot going on a page, you don't necessarily want a decorated paperclip as well. Oh, I love how that page looks. It just looks so cute. And obviously I had 2 tickets left over, or 1.5 really. So we could just tuck them under there as well. So that's probably all that we've got time for, I think, unless we can just quickly squeeze one more page in. What do you guys think? Should we try and squeeze another one in? Well, let's just quickly squeeze another one in. Let's take the goat and let's do something that we're just going to paperclip on, so that it's a really nice fast one, and you know, we don't have to kind of take too long about it. So, well, what we could do is we could use a tag. I have got a smallish tag there, and obviously we've used one of these somewhere before in here. I'm just going to check where it was, because I don't want 2 things the same right next to each other. That's weird. I thought I'd used it there, but I must have used it over this side. Ah, okay, so it's back there. Now, I'm just looking, do I need to chop off too much of that cute goat to actually pop that on there? Because I don't want to tear him too small. No, I think we can fit him on, so we'll just tear that down like this. Okay. And like that. Yeah, this has been really different for me, making a journal this way round. And I have to say, it has been quite enjoyable and very quick. You know, so I found it really quite helpful. Right, he's super cute like that. To be honest, he doesn't really even need anything else, but obviously we can't just leave him like that. So let's just see what else we can just pop on there. So we could have some doily coming out maybe, but just tear that sort of big lumpy plain bit off of the doily. Pop that doily there. Yeah, that's quite nice. So I'm going to stick the doily down with the 3-in-1 like that. Okay. And we'll just press that down. And then we'll just pop our goat on there like that. Okay. How cute is that? Really sweet, isn't it? So I might just rough the edges of this tag up. Sorry, Sherry. I say that because I know that Sherry, she does not like this. So I apologise now. There we go. Right, now ink that tag up like that. I mean, I just like the roughing up because it just adds a little bit of texture and a bit of, you know, difference in height and things to having just a really flat tag. So that's why I quite like it. So we've got that. Now I'm just going to have a look in, you know, our book page words that we did as a little add-on to our mass makes. Oh, you've got this one that says magic, actually. It's the first one that just fell out. And again, I just think that's quite apt for that tag, actually. I don't know why. I doubt he's a magic goat, but it just looked kind of cute. And I thought, that might be really nice on there. So I'm just going to glue that down. Just there. Oh, there goes that 3-in-1 again. Oh, I think it spent more time on the floor than on the desk during this video. Honestly. Okay. And then just want to decide what to have as the tab. So obviously I've got this green ribbon that we have used quite a bit in this journal. Oh, I think I'm going to use that. Yeah. That looks really nice on there. So again, we'll just cut that down like that. Get that 3-in-1 before it rolls on the floor again, and just pop that on. And, you know, obviously you could stitch your tabs on and things like that. I mean, if you watch my channel, then you'll know my sewing machine's just not up here, so it's not really conducive for me to just do that. I mean, obviously if I wasn't doing a video I could, but you know, I don't want to stop the video, pop downstairs and then come back. So I'll just go with it. Oh, that's a little bit of a ginormous tab there. Right, let's just peel that up a bit, move it down slightly. I'm just going to trim that down a bit. I obviously cut the ribbon a little bit too long, so it was just looking huge against the tag. Right, so that looks cute, and then I'm just going to ink up the back of that tag as well. Okay, haven't decided yet what to do on the inside of the back cover yet, or I think we haven't done the back page actually either yet, so need to decide that. Could have that little hand stitched ruffle there, which I think is quite nice, and we could have a little ruffle going down the edge, or a little one just at the bottom of the page. Let's just have a look. I mean, I do love having ruffles everywhere, as you know. So let me just have a quick rummage around, just see whether I've got any other ruffle that's actually, you know, an offcut already, just before I trim this down. No, I don't think I have. So I'm going to cut that in half, and well, you know, not necessarily in half, but roughly in half, and then just going to have it here at the bottom of the page. So again, let me just use that wacky 3-in-1. I mean, as I say, I turned it upside down so that I didn't have to keep shaking it and waiting for it to run down during the video, but little lesson there really. It obviously doesn't really take well to being turned upside down, so should have just left it up the right way really and shook it each time I came to use it. Okay, so that's that. Do we like that ruffle on there? Let me look on the camera. Yeah, because it needs something a little bit darker to break it up, I feel. So just going to glue that down across there. Ugh. Okay. Okie dokie, and I just put that slightly at a bit of a curve like that, and then again just take a little paper clip and I'm just going to clip that on there at the side. So another page done, and I mean that page was absolutely super quick, wasn't it? So yeah, we were like racing through the journal now. Right, okay, so I will catch you next time when we'll do another couple of pages, and hopefully we're kind of nearing the end really, other than our bits that we're going to tuck in. We're kind of nearing the end, so thanks very much for joining me, and hopefully you'll join me next time. Thanks then, bye.